First at 4, why Detroit's mayor is urging you to keep wearing those face masks. And Congress is moving closer to a new multi-billion-dollar relief package. Also, the race to reopen. Several states are making plans to lift business restrictions, but are they meeting the guidelines set by the White House? Good afternoon, Ben.
Karen, good afternoon. It looked a lot like winter earlier today. It's going to feel even more like it tomorrow. 2 records in jeopardy. We'll run them down for you. Coming up right now, first at 4.
Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4 from Detroit to Washington, D.C. We are tracking the very latest developments in the coronavirus crisis. First, the state just released new numbers. Nearly 33,000 people have now been infected in Michigan. The number of deaths is up to 2,700. And while that number took a big jump from yesterday, we have learned 95 of the new deaths are losses that were not previously reported. We also do have some breaking news from Washington with a tentative deal on a new relief package. Detroit's Mayor Mike Duggan says the CDC has sent 4 staff members to help with the city's control of the virus in its nursing homes. And the mayor says we must guard against community spread, especially from people who don't think they're sick.
We now understand this a whole lot better than we did 6 weeks ago when we were being told don't wear a mask because there's a lot of people who have the virus who are spreading it and don't even know. And so we're going to continue to encourage everyone in this city to keep wearing a mask.
Beaumont Health has announced temporary layoffs after suffering, quote, dire financial effects from the COVID-19 pandemic. The layoffs include more than 2,000 hospital administrative staff and other workers who are not directly caring for patients. It's also eliminating 450 corporate and administrative positions permanently. Beaumont CEO John Fox plans to take a 70% pay cut of his $1.8 million salary. Other executives plan to take a 45% pay cut. CVS Health is providing a new rapid drive-through COVID-19 testing site in the city of Dearborn. It's in the parking lot of the Henry Ford Centennial Library on Michigan Avenue. The governor's office says the site should be able to test 500 to 750 residents per day. The testing is available by appointment 7 days a week, but do not just show up without that appointment. Well, you may have seen this story alert on your Click on Detroit app today. Stay connected to the latest coronavirus news by going to our app store and then downloading the app today. Soon, you won't have to leave your house to take a test for the coronavirus. The FDA issued an emergency use authorization for LabCorp's Pixel test, making it the first at-home test for COVID-19. Dr. McGeorge joins us this afternoon to explain why it's really only a small change.
The FDA issued an emergency use authorization for the at-home coronavirus test. Here's the thing. The test still requires an order from a medical provider, and it has to be mailed into the lab for processing. The only part of it that is at home is the specimen collection. Basically, the kit will allow people to swab their own noses. Now, the potential benefit is that patients wouldn't need to leave their home, and no one else would be potentially exposed to contagious virus during the collection process, which could translate into less use of protective gear. Now, in order to receive the kit, you have to first complete an online questionnaire, which then has to be approved by a doctor. At present, healthcare workers and first responders can get the test first, but the company does hope to make them available to the public in the coming weeks. Now, a previous study did find that self-swabbing could be just as effective as swabs collected by medical personnel. If you do choose this option, just be sure to swab thoroughly. Back to you.
Now, breaking news from Washington on this Tuesday afternoon as Congress reaches a tentative deal for another coronavirus relief bill. The new measure has ballooned to nearly $500 billion. About $330 billion would go to helping small businesses after the Paycheck Protection Program ran out of money. Hospitals will get $75 billion, and $25 billion would be used to boost testing for the coronavirus. The bill could pass the Senate before the end of the day. The House should vote by Thursday. President Trump has tweeted that he will sign the bill. Of course, we'll keep you posted. While national polls show most Americans want a slow and steady approach to lifting quarantines, we're still seeing protests like this one right there in North Carolina. A vocal minority pushing to reopen businesses, ready or not. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom tracking the plans and the challenges. Kim.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon to you. A handful of states, mostly in the South, as you mentioned, will start to reopen businesses as soon as this Friday. It's a delicate balancing act, juggling health concerns with a very harsh economic reality. States such as Georgia, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, also Alaska are moving forward to loosen restrictions. Friday in Georgia, gyms, bowling alleys, hair and nail salons, as well as tattoo parlors can reopen. However, none of those states have seen a 14-day decline in coronavirus cases, which is one of the suggested conditions from the Trump administration. Dr. Birx, the coordinator of the National Task Force, says governors have the information that they need, but they'll make the decisions themselves. Georgia's governor, I should say, acknowledges the move comes with a risk. Some mayors in that state, though, are pushing back.
We're probably going to see our cases continue to go up, but we're a lot better prepared.
Do not reopen at this point. It's not the time to do it. It's like telling your quarterback, we don't have a helmet for you, we don't have pads, but get out there on the field and just try not to get sacked.
Well, Karen, critics are concerned about the potential for new spikes in the number of coronavirus cases and possibly more deaths. Here in Michigan, the stay-at-home order is still in effect through at least April 30th. We're still waiting for Governor Whitmer to outline her next steps. And, of course, as soon as we know that, we'll keep you posted on it. Back to you, Karen.
All right. Thank you, Kim. First at 4, we're also tracking coronavirus stories that are making headlines around the world this afternoon. So let's start over in northern Italy, where Russian military doctors are helping a country hard hit by the virus. The Russian team is working with Italian doctors, treating some 70 infected patients. Other Russian teams have been disinfecting hospitals and retirement homes in the area. The Russians have been at work in Italy for the past 4 weeks in a goodwill mission that Moscow is calling From Russia with Love. In the African country of Ghana, drones are now being used to deliver test samples to the capital city. People are being tested in remote areas, but the samples need to go to the national labs. The drones fly to the capital and drop the samples by parachute. It's faster than using cars and cheaper as well. The drones are supplied by an American company called Zipline. Right now, Ghana has just over 1,000 confirmed coronavirus cases. Earlier, you heard Mayor Duggan talk about the importance of face masks. Well, now we're going to talk about a little nonprofit that is making a big contribution to coronavirus safety. Our Paula Tutman tells us about a network of women banding together, and now their efforts are going national.
Listen carefully. That sound you hear of sewing machines being pulled out across the state of Michigan is a constant whir. In an ultimate show of girl power.
It's totally girl power.
A symbiotic relationship is formed between Detroit Sewn, which has been busy making medical PPE for clients across the country.
Here we're able to do about 2,000 units per day. And in total, we're doing like around 50,000 units a week.
And the Glamorous Moms Foundation, a brand spanking new nonprofit, now making face masks for everyone else.
People can pull up right here to the curb and beep, and we'll come out and greet them and either pick up their fabric or pick up their donated masks. Or if they're asking for masks, we'll ask how many they need, and we'll bring them out to them and put them in their cars for them.
Glamorous Moms uses their Girl Talk network of women who know women who know women who know women who have fabric, machines, and sew to get donated fabric by the bolt, send fabric out by the yard to volunteer sewers, and to make thousands of masks to be given away to whomever needs them.
There's all of these home sewers who wanted to participate, and the masks that we're making for hospitals have to be made in a factory so that it's a controlled environment. But I wanted to be able to get the home sewers involved.
Grocery workers, funeral workers, delivery workers, people who just walk by their donation center in Pontiac can get a mask or masks to help protect the rest of the community. But today is perhaps the biggest day yet. Turns out that the Lieutenant Commander, Board Director of Surgical Services of the United States Navy ship Comfort is from Rochester, Michigan.
He saw what we were doing on Facebook, and just through person to person, through word of mouth, he saw what we were doing and requested masks.
And so packed up and being mailed off this afternoon, the biggest request to date. Duty bound for the USNS Comfort, docked at Pier 90 in the Hudson River of New York. 2,465 masks are packed up and being mailed off, hand to mouth, from the Mitten to the Big Apple It is an incredible honor for Michigan makers. And of course,
it's totally girl power.
Paula Tutman, Local 4.
The Glamorous Moms Foundation still needs 3 things to continue their mask making efforts. Number 1 on the list is elastic, which is really difficult to come by in bulk. They are also taking donations of 100% cotton, and they always need people who love to sew. Might need an extra blanket on the bed tonight. Got to be a cold, cold one. Ben Bailey standing by in his home office. You might need to turn up the heat, Ben.
I'm thinking tonight, throw another log in the fire, because at least we're not going to have the wind that we had tonight, but that's also going to allow temperatures to drop a lot colder than what we got to this morning. That's for sure. In fact, at midnight, we're in the 50s, and we're going to be a far cry from that as we head towards midnight tonight. Still have a couple snowflakes out there. The winds have been peaking. Those gusts are hanging around 35 miles per hour in a lot of spots. But as we get into tonight, look at these temperatures. 32 by midnight, so that's going to be almost a 20-degree difference from where we were last night, early this morning. And we've got 20s in store for tomorrow morning. We'll look at that and the 2 records we could be close to, at least getting close to tomorrow in just a few minutes. Karen.
All right, thank you very much, Ben. Still ahead, he is one of the most mysterious and potentially dangerous world leaders. Is North Korea's Kim Jong-un near death? We are tracking the latest reports. Also ahead, how your children can spend some quality time with former First Lady Michelle Obama. Up first, stimulus scam alert, the one thing you need to know that should stop you before you do something you regret. It's a Help Me Hank warning right after the break. But first, here's a reminder to join us to celebrate the spirit of Detroit. We've seen so many people in our community do incredible things during this COVID-19 crisis. Devin Skillion and Kimberly Gill will host an hour-long special focused on stories of bravery, ingenuity, and acts of kindness. It's right here on Local 4 tonight at 8. We'll be right back.